Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a great day today. Today's video is just going to be a declutter video. I'm going to go through all of my makeup, all of my different collections of products, and go through all the products that I think I can get rid of, donate, pass off to friends and family. My collection is just so big. Every single year I do at least one declutter, like minimum, and I always have more items to declutter, and I don't super understand how, because I feel like I have been so good at not buying any makeup recently that anytime I do a declutter, there's always something that like doesn't make me happy anymore. This is one of those times. So I am just gonna go through all of my products, swatch them, see if I still like them, and if I do, I will keep them. If not, I'm going to donate them to someone who wants it more. I hope you guys are having a great day. If you are new here, hi, my name's Vivian. I'm a robotics engineer, and I love all things beauty and makeup related. I love trying new things, but I want to have a curated collection. I want to have products in my collection that make me happy, that work for me, that I don't have to put in a lot of effort to make work for me. There are a lot of products that I've tried that I like a lot, but I don't need this many, and I want to curate my collection as much as I can and just keep the products that I really, really love. I hope you guys are having a great day. With that being said, let's just hop into it. Let's start off with powders. Most of my powders I do really like. I feel like I have a pretty good range of different types of powders here, and I do feel like I make pretty good use out of them, like during my project pan. And I am such an oily person that I will always have a powder with me. So I think I'm gonna keep most of them. The one that I am going to declutter is this one from Rare Beauty, and I do not like this. I don't feel like it does a lot for me. This shade ends up turning a little bit orange on me, and I have other powders that I like more, that I use a lot more. So I think this needs to go. There's still a ton of product in here. I just don't think that this is a powder that I need in my collection. I'm gonna keep all of my color correctors. I don't use them very often, but I like the idea of having them around. Since I finished up the Glossier skin tint in my project pan, I've been trying to go through all of my foundations and just try and figure out which ones I like and which ones I don't like. One that I know that I'm gonna declutter is the Tower 28 Sunny Days Tinted Moisturizer or Tinted Sunscreen. This looks so cakey on me. I don't know if it's because of my skin or what, but at the end of the day, this looks atrocious on me, and I've tried it without sunscreen underneath, like with just using moisturizer, not using primer, and I just can't get this to work for me. So I'm going to get rid of it. There's still a ton of product in here, but this is like the one Tower 28 product that just completely misses the mark for me. I am definitely not gonna keep that. I'm on the fence about these Urban Decay face bonds because I do like the formula, but neither of these shades works well for me. I have the shades 13, which is this lighter one that's described as a light, medium, cool olive, and I have the shade 19, which is a medium golden olive. And I tried mixing them, but I can't seem to find the right ratio. Like, this just hasn't worked for me, and maybe it's just more of like finding the right ratio. So I guess I'm gonna give this one more shot. I don't know. I am a little annoyed that there's not a good like olive undertone shade in between that I can use. Something that I am probably going to declutter is this LYS Triple Fix Serum Foundation. I do like this foundation, but it is a little bit light for me. I also broke the lid, and so it doesn't stay on anymore. But the main reason why I'm getting rid of this is because I think this is the oldest foundation I have in my collection, and I loved it originally, but there are a lot more that I like over this one now. I think I'm just gonna get rid of it. It's pretty old at this point. I had this one in the shade MG2. I also think I'm gonna get rid of the Sephora Reveal the Real Soft Radiant Skin Tint. I have this in the shade 170 Light, and there's just something about this that I don't love. Like, the texture of it is always a little bit oily whenever I squeeze it out, and it feels like kind of gross on my skin. But now that I'm like squeezing it out, is it really that bad? I don't know. Maybe I'll give this one more shot. I'm gonna try this one more time. Something else that is like really too light for me is this Nabla Skin Realist. I have this in the shade 2 Light. It is okay if I mix it in with something else, but on its own, it is like way too light for me, like almost pink. The undertone is not correct either. Oh, you can't even see those swatches. Anyway, like that is just way too light for me. And like I said, I can mix it And I do think it's a very pretty product, but the shade 2 is a little bit more work than I want to put in every day. So I'm thinking about getting rid of this as well. But I did wear this today and I mixed it in with the Giorgio Armani Luminous Bronzing Drops, and I do really like the way that looked. Like, I feel like my skin looks really like radiant and pretty today. So maybe I keep that too. So I think these 4 I'm gonna put on the chopping block and try and use them a couple more times before making my decision on it. But they're all like a little bit finicky. I have to put in a little bit more effort to get to work for me, which I don't love. So I think within the next couple of days, I'm just going to wear these and see how they sit on my skin and make a decision on if I really like them or not. But everything else in my collection, foundation wise, I do really, really like. So the L'Oreal tinted sunscreen or tinted serum in the shade 4 to 5 medium, the Supergoop Protectant in the shade 26W, Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, one of my favorite foundations, Dior Forever Skin Glow in the shade 2 Warm Olive. It's a great foundation, although it is very, very fragranced. Summer Friday Skin Tint, one of my all-time favorites. These two, if I had to choose which one I liked more, I think the Essence is a little bit cakey on me, but the Chanel Les Beige is beautiful, like definitely keeping this. I think this is also going to be on the shopping block. I'm going to put that with the other ones. This Milani Conceal and Perfect is actually really pretty on the skin. It's extremely lightweight and the stick is actually like super smooth to apply, but that shade isn't the best shade for me. Like right there, it's a little bit too peachy. So I don't know if I love that. Maybe this is on the chopping block too, but the formula itself is really, really pretty. And then the last foundation I have here is the About Face, the Performer Performer foundation. That's one of my favorites. That's definitely staying. As far as concealers go, I know you can't really see what's in here. I have a bunch in here that I actually love. The Glossier concealer I actually really like. I have that in the shade G9. Dior Forever Skin Correct in the shade 2 Warm Olive, I actually really like as well. Natasha Denona High Glam in the shade Y7, also an incredibly pretty concealer. And then the Refi concealer is also actually really good. I have this in the shade 10. I'm gonna keep all those. Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, unreal. Like an amazing concealer. I think these two I'm gonna part ways with. This is the NYX Bear With Me serum in the shade Beige. It's just too light for me and I don't use this enough to warrant keeping it, to be honest. And then the Catrice True Skin concealer. This is just not something that I reach for a ton. It's pretty, but I don't know, it's a little bit light for me as well, and a lot more high coverage than I typically go in with. So they're just not my favorites. They're not ones that I typically reach for when I'm doing my makeup, so I think they're good to go. So that is everything in my concealers, foundations, and powders. I have these foundations I'm going to put off to the side to try and remember to use them and try them out again. This next drawer has some primers, some highlighters, and a couple of face palettes. The 2 face palettes I'm definitely going to keep. This Vive one is actually one of my favorites for traveling. It has such a great variety of blush shades that I would typically go for, especially in the summer when I am like on vacation. I really like this cool tone pink. This shade, this darker shade, is beautiful for like the sunburnt blush look, and I'm not as drawn to this one, but I think together they're all super pretty. Like this one is more of just like a neutral color for me. I don't usually use the highlight, but the blush shades in here are divine, so I love that. And then I also have the Charlotte Tilbury Nugasm face palette. I've had this for quite a while. It's also not my absolute favorite palette, but I like the packaging and it kind of makes me happy, so I'm gonna keep it. As far as highlighters go, I only have these 4 and I am gonna keep all of them. I don't use highlighter that often, to be honest, so do I need all 4? No, but they all kind of serve their own purpose. The Vive Skin Dew is actually incredibly pretty and I like to mix this in with foundation if I really want to make it super glowy. The Flower Beauty Day Glow, I don't think this is still an item that you can buy, but it is a really pretty, just like natural glowy highlight. Subtle, but still really pretty and like champagne-y. Definitely gives a little bit of a pop there. The Merit Day Glow in the shade Citrine is also just a very, very pretty, very natural leaning highlight. So I like all of those. I also have the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter in the shade 3.5 medium. So I haven't used this a ton, but I do like it. I do also have the Orc Glow List at my fiance's house. That's not here, so it's obviously not getting decluttered, but all of these are pretty and I don't use them very often, but they're still pretty and I still want them, and so I'm going to keep them. As far as primers go, I have a lot, maybe a little bit too many. So let's go by type, I guess. I have 3 different types of glowy bronzer types. This is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Glow Liquid Bronzer. I've been using this to mix in with any lotion or my foundation if I need to darken it a little bit. I think I'm gonna keep that for this purpose, but as a bronzer, I hated this. It was so orange on me, and there are very visible glitters in here, so also not my favorite. These 2, this is the Say Glow Lust in the shade Sun Glow. This is beautiful for no makeup days. Like, it always leaves me feeling super refreshed and glowy without being over the top and without looking like I'm just wearing a glowy primer. And the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion in the shade 904 Deep Glow is also a very pretty, just like sunny, glowy bronzer type of product that I also use as a mixer. I feel like I don't need all 3 of these. I feel like the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion is a mix of these 2 higher end ones, and I spent more money on the Giorgio Armani and the Say primers, so I think I'm gonna get rid of this one. I just don't see the need for 3 of these products, so I am just going to declutter this one. I also have the Nabla Radiant Plumping Serum Primer. This is also really pretty. It's just a beautiful, glowy, glow from within type of primer. I don't use this very often, although it does leave this like beautiful glass-like finish. I think I'm gonna keep that for now, but I might reevaluate in a little bit here. I have 2 of these Smashbox primers. I think I'm gonna get rid of the Primerizer Plus. This is probably a fantastic primer. I just do not use it at all, like literally at all. If I need a moisturized base, like I think my sunscreen or my skincare takes care of this for me. I do not have super dry skin or anything like that, so I don't really feel the need to keep this in my collection. I am gonna keep the Control primer though, because I do have oily skin and I do want to like try and fix that at times. A different blurring primer is this Milani Conceal and Perfect. This is relatively new to my collection, so I don't want to get rid of it yet. They did send this to me, but I just want to try it out a couple more times before making my full decision on it. The Iconic London Underglow Blurring Primer is also really pretty. This is the Yummy Skin Water Powder Serum, my absolute favorite, never getting rid of that. I also have this little sample of the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder that I have not tried yet, and I definitely want to, so definitely keeping this. I guess the only one that I'm on the fence about is the Nabla Angel Aura, but it is a really pretty looking product. I'm wondering if I could start using this as like body glow instead. Either way, this is a beautiful, beautiful primer. I'm going to keep it for now, but I might change my mind. This next drawer is kind of my favorite drawer. It's kind of a mess right now, but it's because it's a little bit overflowing the way that I organize this, so I definitely think it needs a declutter. Something that I think I can declutter immediately is this Rare Beauty blush. This is the Nearly Neutral Melting Balm blush, and I just don't use it enough, and it is really pretty. I have so many blushes, and I feel like there are other blushes that I like more than this one. This one is very pretty, but it doesn't super show up on me very well. Like, it is very, very sheer, and I feel like I could give this a better home. So I'm gonna declutter that. I'm also gonna declutter this Benefit Flora tint. I bought this during one of the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale, I think, and this is just not the same formula as the Benetint that I was expecting, and so I don't use this as much. I love the Benetint, but this one just isn't my favorite. Like, I don't love the texture of this, and I don't love the way that this looks on my skin either. So I'm gonna get rid of that one. This is a K-Beauty blush. This is the Her Moist Ampule Blusher. This is such a sheer blush. It almost looks like there's nothing on the skin. It is like very liquidy and serum-like, so it's really pretty, but I want more pigment than that. I am such a heavy blush gal, and that is not giving me what I want. It is pretty, but it needs to go. Something else that I think can go is the Merit Flush Balm in the shade Mood. I think I'm actually gonna give this to my mom, but again, I just don't use this nearly as much as I should. Like, I don't think I've even touched this since my last declutter, and because of that, I feel like my mom would like it much more. Like, she likes this blush and she uses it a lot, and I just feel like she would get more use out of that than I would. I'm also gonna get rid of this Rare Beauty blush in the shade Happy. I think this color is really pretty, but again, I have so many blushes. I just don't think I need this one, and this will take me literally forever to finish, and I feel like someone else would just be able to use it a lot more than I would. The Epu Juicy Pink Blusher, I do really like. I just have so many blushes, and I need to cut back. Like, this is kind of an insane amount of blushes, like actually kind of a ridiculous amount. The e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush, I also don't use it. It needs to go. The rest of my blushes I think can stay. I think I get enough enjoyment out of them that I'm going to keep them. Actually, this Milani Cheek Kiss blush in the shade Nude Kiss, I do really like. Too many blushes. This can just go in the trash or be given away. There's so many. There's too many. There's too many. And I do feel like I've been really good about not buying more. So I am holding myself accountable, at least in that regard. I have 2 of these Makeup by Mario Soft Pop Plumping Blush Veils. And I don't use these enough, but they are really pretty. So I am going to keep these with the note that I definitely need to use those more. Tower 28 blush is really pretty. Refi blush is really pretty. I think on blushes, I am good. Something that I'm going to declutter is the Revolution Ultra Cream Bronzer. I just don't use this nearly enough. It like still looks almost brand new. It is a very pretty bronzer. I just have so many. I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm also gonna get rid of this Cosmetics Corselet Sculpting Powder Bronzer in the shade Silhouette. This just feels very orange to me, and I don't love that shade on me. Like, I feel like it doesn't look great on my skin tone. So the packaging is beautiful. It's a good formula, but it doesn't work for my skin tone. So I'm going to get rid of it. To be honest, this doesn't match my skin tone really either. The Victoria Beckham Bronzing Brick. But this was very expensive and very expensive, so I'm not going to get rid of that. As far as cream and liquid bronzers and contours, I think I'm going to get rid of these 2. This is the Fenty Matchsticks in the shade Amber. That's just way too light for me. That does not work for my skin tone whatsoever. And then the Rare Beauty bronzing stick in the shade Happy Soul is just too orange for me. Like, that straight up looks orange on me. I don't like it. There's still so much life in both of these that I'm just going to give them away. I feel like other people in my life would like these a lot. They're just not good shade matches for me. And I think that's everything from this section. Moving on to lip stuff. Let's focus on one of these baskets at a time. I'm definitely getting rid of the Refi Red Tinted Lip Gloss. It is very pretty. I just don't use it very often. I have so many lip products. I'm also going to get rid of this from Judy Doll. I don't even know what the exact thing is, but it's in the shade 4, and it has this metal tip applicator, and that's like fine, but I don't love this color on me, so I don't think it applies product very well, and I don't know. I'm going to get rid of that too. This Unleashia Shimmer and Glossy Lip. I think this is a little bit too bold for me for most days, so I'm also going to declutter this. It is really pretty, but I have so many. I need to not have this many. I'm gonna get rid of that. This RMS lip oil, I'm definitely getting rid of. It's just not my favorite. I have other clear lip oils that I like more. The NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Apple Crisp. Again, I don't use. I'm going to get rid of that. I think I'm going to declutter this Milani Fruit Fetish in the shade Blackberry Agave. This is a stunning formula. This shade just looks a little bit off on me. Like, I feel like it's a little bit too warm brown tone for what I typically like on my lips. I typically like something a little bit more berry toned. So I'm just going to declutter this because I still have this one from Milani that I really like. I think I'm also going to declutter the Refi Clear Lip Gloss. Again, I just don't use it very much. I'm going to keep my Tower 28 ones. I really like those. I think I'm going to get rid of this YSL. This is like a tiny sample of it, but it's a YSL lip balm. And I have so many lip balms, and I feel like I'm not going to like this very much. Like, I feel like it's not going to be hydrating enough for me and my preferences. So I'm going to give it away. Someone else can have it. This Rare Beauty lip oil in the shade Hope. I think I'm going to get rid of this. I like the Romand ones more, and I feel like the Romand ones have a better like feeling to it and tint to it than the Rare Beauty. So I'm going to get rid of this one as well. I am basically just trying to be very ruthless with myself and like not keep things that I don't need. I know that it is very hard for me. I have so many products. I'm getting so overwhelmed. I don't know how I keep doing this to myself, because I don't even think I brought in a ton of products this last quarter. The last time I did a declutter, I feel like I went through everything, but I don't even feel like I'm buying things. So I don't know how I'm getting all of this stuff, to be honest. Those are all the products that I'm going to keep. For this basket, these are all of my lip balms. Not even all of them, I have more. But I'm gonna get rid of the Glossier Balm.com. I do not like the formula. It is not thick enough for me. I don't need it. And I have all of these other lip balms that I'd rather give this to someone else who would use it. I have a ton of lipsticks. That right there, that's an insane amount of lipsticks. So we're gonna go through all of these. I feel like I could get rid of a lot of these. I am gonna get rid of Slip from Merit, just because look at the way that is. Like, it fell away from the bottom of the package, and so it just keeps twisting every time I use it. It needs to go. It is quite old, and the packaging did not last very well. This Nabla Beyond Jelly Sheer lipstick in the shade Crystal Rose. It's really pretty, but I don't wear super bright pinks like that. Nabla in Crystal Noir. It's giving Black Honey, but it's not as good as Black Honey, to be honest. I like Black Honey more. This is Red Sapphire. Ooh, I think this might be too pigmented, and I think it's much more of a cool toned red than I would typically wear. So it is beautiful. I love the sheer jelly formula, but I don't like that shade on me, and I don't think I would use it. I am gonna keep Libido because that is stunning. That's beautiful. That's definitely a keep. MAC, what is this? Devoted to Chili. It's a little too, I don't know. I feel like that kind of looks similar to my Rare Beauty Bold. See, but Bold looks way more cool toned than Chili. I'm gonna keep Bold because I know that it looks really good on me, and I'm going to declutter MAC Chili, Devoted to Chili. I'm definitely keeping the Romand. Charlotte Tilbury Walk of No Shame is also beautiful. Also really close to Bold in my opinion, if not like a little bit more red toned, which I like. I also have Merit's L'Avenue, which I think also gives kind of Black Honey vibes, so I'm gonna keep that. I do like that one. I have the matte formula of the Merit lipsticks in the shade Power. This is also kind of that cool toned red. I don't know if I want to keep this. I feel like I should have like a red lipstick, but is that too red for me? Not Merit, Makeup by Mario Plumping Lip Balm. This is actually a really pretty formula. I'm gonna keep that. M Cosmetics, I think this is Van Gogh. That's also beautiful. That's definitely a keep. Victoria Beckham Posh. Oh, the shade is Twist, but this is also a very pretty lipstick. I should use this more often. Vive, what's a color that I like? What is this? In the shade King. So I'm gonna keep all these. I feel like I already got rid of a lot of them, and I do like the ones that I'm keeping. Lip liners. I do not need this many lip liners. This is kind of a crazy amount. Like, actually, some of these I feel like I swatched and like they were complete dupes of each other too. And just wipe away the rest of my swatches so that I can try and swap the lip liners. I have one that I know that I'm gonna get rid of. This is from Nabla. This is Nude number 1.5, and this formula is good. This shade is just not my favorite. It's very like peachy, and that is not a shade that I typically like to wear. So I'm gonna declutter that. I'm also gonna declutter the Bubble and Rudy Freckle Pen. I was using this as a lip liner because the freckles that this makes is way too light on my skin tone, and I don't like this as a lip liner either, so I'm going to declutter that. I know I'm currently working on a lip liner in my project pan right now, which is good, but I have so many lip liners. I'm going to keep Rare Beauty Bold because that's one of my favorite lipsticks to wear to events if I'm wearing a bold lip. I'm pretty sure I want to keep all of these. Soft Brown, Nude Truffle, Peekaboo Neutral. I feel like if I were to get rid of one, it would be Peekaboo Neutral. It's just pinkier, and I don't typically wear that color. So I'm gonna get rid of Peekaboo Neutral. Soft Brown honestly ends up being kind of pinky on my actual lips too, but that is pretty. I do like that. The cap on this Hourglass one makes it look like it'd be very pinky, but like if you take that in comparison with Peekaboo Neutral, this is way darker, and so I actually really like that. I'm gonna keep that. Oh, what happened to this? Did the wood swell or something? The lid of this broke, like kind of bizarrely. I do love Anywhere Caffeine. I think that's a beautiful liner. So I'm gonna keep all those. I think that's everything for this drawer and this section. So I am going to declutter 5 lipsticks, 3 lip liners. Okay, this is also a ton of stuff. I feel like I've already gone through most of this and decluttered it, but there's like a couple of things that I feel like I should just point out. These 2 brow products, this is the Kulfi Free the Brow Clear Brow Gel. This does not work in my brows at all. It like falls almost immediately. So I'm going to declutter that. I'm also going to declutter the NYX Brow Glue. I just don't love it. I need something to add texture to my eyebrows because they're so thin and lightweight. I am going to get rid of the Closest Clear Airbrow because this is pretty much brand new, and although I have it, it's not my absolute favorite clear brow formula, so I would rather just get rid of it because I don't even think I've used it yet. I do like the Anastasia Brow Freeze Gel, so I'm going to keep that. The Glossier one, I feel like I've had for a long time, but it does add like fibers to my brow, which I like. The Closest Airbrow, the tinted one, it's starting to smell bad. So I'm probably going to get rid of this soon, but not quite yet. I'm going to try and use it as much as I can for the next couple of months. But that is going to have to be thrown away soon. The Maybelline Super Fluff. I do like this. It's not my favorite brow formula, but I do have it, so I'm going to try and use it up. Milk Makeup. I do like it. It gives like really thick brows. The e.l.f. Brow Laminating Gel. It's not as good as the Refi Brow Sculpt, but it is good enough. I'm going to keep it. And I'm going to keep the rest of this. I feel like I kind of got rid of the things that I don't super like. This is like brand new, so it can definitely go to someone else. I am going to get rid of this Bobbi Brown dual-ended long wear eyeshadow crayon. I was only using this one side and I wasn't even using it very much. So I'm just going to get rid of it. I have so many of these Nabla Cupid arrows that I just prefer over the Bobbi Brown formula. So I'm just going to get rid of this. I did go through all of my eyeliners and I kept most of my Nabla Cupid's arrows. One thing that I am going to get rid of is this Flower Beauty dual-ended liner thing. This just does not work for me. I'm also going to declutter this Laura Mercier Caviar Eye Stick because I just don't use it. I don't use eyeshadow primer. And well, it also just broke and fell out, so that definitely just needs to go. Yeah, I didn't realize that it did that, but it did, so I'm just going to throw that away. That's unfortunate, but also probably means it's time to go. And everything else I'm going to keep. I feel like that is a good amount of stuff, if not a little bit excessive, but not overly. And this is everything that I'm decluttering. This is so much. Why do I keep doing this to myself? I don't even think any of this is new. I just constantly change my mind, and I feel like I've really been curating like my actual ideal collection, and I just need to be so honest with myself and just not use the things, and just not keep the things that I am not using. Like, there are still more in my collection that I don't use. I only have one face. There's no way I can use all of this to begin with. Every time I do a declutter, I feel ashamed of myself. A lot of this I spent money on. I mean, I got a lot of it through PR as well, but it's too much. It's too much. I need to stop spending money. And I feel like I've been doing a lot better, like this past year specifically, but still, this is an insane amount. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe if you aren't already. I am, I guess, excited to do my makeup inventory update because at least I will be able to see visually how much of this I'm actually getting rid of. I plan on updating my spreadsheet soon with all of the stuff. I need to be honest with myself. I need to be honest with things that I'm using and not using, and I'm not using any of this, so it needs to go. Yeah, I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe if you aren't already. Stay tuned for my updated makeup inventory update. I will hopefully have a smaller number than before. God, I hope so. If I brought more into my collection, that would be crazy boots for sure. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.